When I use the term bump, what I'm really talking about is contact with the ball. Advice telling you to hit through the ball. That's not really what's happening at the top levels or at any decent level. It's really about the bump. And that means at contact, see, your arm is round and you just bump the ball. So whether you're coming from a big swing like this and you bump it, and then once you bump it, that's it. It's over. Same with the forehand. You can come off a big swing, but at contact, you just bump the ball. Once you've bumped the ball like this, you see how round I get? And I create this nice little, almost like an old Volkswagen hubcap, right? I create this curve in my arm. Some will call it a lag, but that's a little too digital of a term. Really, you want to get rounded back here. So you want to just bump the ball. And if it's a volley, it's the same thing. You bump it, and then the racket head trails. So you bump it, and it trails. So whether you're hitting flat or topspin, you really want to focus on that bump. And another time you want to really think about the bump is when you're in a transition, right? When you're in the middle of the court and you get a half volley or a low volley. You don't have to get through the ball. All you really have to do is create a nice round place for the ball to land, and you just bump it. So it really helps on pickups, volleys, ground strokes to understand this term of bumping the ball. Just create a nice place for the ball to land and bump it. Much, much easier concept and easier on your body is when you create this place for the ball to land and not try to get through the ball and you just bump it. The strings actually get to move back a little. Even the head of the racket moves back a little and the ball presses a little bit more air. So making that nice area for the ball to bump against is a much better hit. You can get a whole lot of power without really having to swing that hard. The symmetry of the strings going back and the ball getting air pressed in it, those two things really makes the ball pop off the racket face.
When you can play a decent level day in, day out, I absolutely love the Excalibur. I can't tell you what a great tool that is. And it just seems to get the sweet spot of both the racket face and the tennis ball. And I never knew before Jack's teaching there was a sweet spot in a tennis ball, so that was new to me. So, and that makes sense that, you know, you can actually create a lot of power without necessarily trying to accelerate. Because if you can meet the two sweet spots, both of the racket face and in the ball, you've got double compression. So that ball will just stay a little bit longer on that face, and that gives you extra power and control as it really does sink in and then accelerates back out. From personal experience, I think anyone that is struggling with their game or having a lot of good days, bad days, and can't really find a consistent level and wants something that they can follow without being, you know, so prescriptive that they're having to think about 100 different things because the brain can't process that, certainly not on a court and definitely not in a match, then I would struggle to see anything better than Jack's system. I think it's the best I've come across by a golden mile.